Hey, I'm a neurosurgeon, Kazu.
Picture waking up with a dull, stubborn ache behind your eyes. You take an ibuprofen, head to work, and try to push through. Days turn into weeks, and you keep taking the pills, but the ache never really leaves. It is incredibly easy to convince yourself it's nothing serious. You blame the long hours at the office, a lingering cold, or assume it's just a standard migraine flaring up again. This specific type of lingering pain is what neurologists call a sentinel headache, a very real physical warning sign that precedes a catastrophic brain hemorrhage. Look at this highlighted section. Between 20 and 50% of these patients actually receive a sentinel headache days or even weeks before the main event. Yet up to half of these warning signs are completely missed by both patients and doctors. We are conditioned to expect a massive hemorrhage to announce itself with a sudden, agonizing thunderclap of pain, not a creeping ache. By treating an anomaly like routine stress, we mistake the brain's ultimate distress signal for normal, harmless background noise. To see why that ache refuses to respond to normal painkillers, we need to look under the skull. A sentinel headache is the result of a microscopic fissure opening on a malformed brain artery known as an aneurysm. A very small, localized amount of blood physically leaks out into the surrounding space. Your standard headache is often caused by muscle tension or vascular changes. Here, the pain comes from that leaked blood as it slowly spreads and makes contact with the meninges, the highly sensitive, protective lining of your brain. The blood heavily irritates this lining, causing persistent inflammation. Swallowing over-the-counter pain medication every few hours does absolutely nothing to stop this internal leak. It only numbs your perception of a ticking biological clock. Over time, relying heavily on those pills can even trigger a secondary issue known as a medication overuse headache. This adds a completely new layer of symptoms that makes accurately diagnosing the original leak even harder. Attempting to quiet a sentinel headache with daily medication is treating a structural, mechanical failure of a blood vessel with a temporary chemical fix. The moment that unusual pain sets in, a diagnostic timer starts running. Looking at this diagnostic accuracy graph, the critical window is incredibly narrow. If a patient gets a CT scan within the first 6 hours of the headache starting, doctors can spot that microscopic bleeding with greater than 95% accuracy. Because most people wait to see if they feel better in the morning, they miss that window. By the 24-hour mark, the leaked blood is already absorbing back into the body, dropping the scan's sensitivity to about 80%. As those days stretch into weeks, the blood is fully absorbed. The physical evidence effectively vanishes from standard CT scans. The pain might even subside a bit, leaving you with a false sense of security. But the structural weakness in that artery is still there. Left unchecked, the aneurysm is highly likely to suffer a secondary event, a massive catastrophic rupture known as a rebleed. When that rebleed happens, the stakes are extreme. Mortality rates jump to 60%, and survivors face a very high probability of permanent paralysis or severe language impairment. By waiting out a stubborn headache in hopes it will naturally fade, you allow your body to clean up the exact physical evidence a neurosurgeon needs to intervene. If you do seek help while the symptoms are active, neurosurgeons have highly precise imaging tools like MRIs and MRAs to pinpoint the exact location of a compromised blood vessel. Once located, doctors can secure the aneurysm before a major rupture occurs using one of two methods. Craniotomy clipping places a metallic clamp at the bulge's base, or endovascular coiling fills the aneurysm with microscopic coils to block blood flow. Modern medicine has the mechanical solutions ready to go. The only variable is whether you can identify the signal and get yourself to a hospital in time. You must know the strict criteria separating a normal tension headache from a dangerous leak. Go straight to a professional if the pain reaches its absolute peak instantly. Act immediately if this is your first severe headache and you are over 50, if the pain is accompanied by a stiff neck or body numbness, or if it entirely ignores standard medication. The biggest barrier is often your own hesitation. Discard the worry that you are being an inconvenience to emergency staff. A visit to a neurosurgeon for an unusual headache is a non-negotiable safety check. If a headache feels alien compared to anything experienced before, trust your intuition over your assumptions. Put the pain medicine down and get an answer before the clock runs out.